MediaByte Podcast Network.
As far back as I can remember, I always wanted to be a gangster.
Down here, it's our time. It's our time down here.
I guess it comes down to a simple choice, really. Get busy living, or get busy dying.
I feel the need for speed.
Hi everybody, welcome back to the MediaByte podcast. How are you all doing? Who am I here with today on this fine evening of the day that we're recording this, that I'm not going to say to date this, to not date this, even though we're going to date this for sure. Who are you?
The homie.
Your homie?
I'm the homie.
The homie. Okay. Only referred to him as the homie.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. It's gotta be the homie.
I am the homie.
The homie. So a lot has happened since the last time we've made one of these, and I'm trying to figure out where to start, because that's a huge thing. Let's start with some Better Call Saul discussion, and then we can go on to what happened a certain amount of time ago, yesterday. And so it's been 3 episodes or 4 episodes by the time this has come out since the mid-season break. Three episodes, I think. 3.
Mm-hmm.
Tomorrow is episode 4 since then.
No.
Yeah.
Tomorrow's 3.
3?
I don't know, but I think tomorrow's 3. Yeah.
Okay, well, 3. Because there's 4 episodes left, so whatever that is. Well, so since mid-season's come back, I don't know if we've talked about Better Call Saul this season at all. So if you want to give your thoughts specifically about season 6 and everything that's happened with season 6, and then more specifically about the last few episodes, I will pass it to you.
I think that Better Call Saul is one of the best TV shows of all time. And I think this past season has kind of cemented that for me, that it's better than, it's the best show on television right now, period, I think. I feel like the way that when they first came back, I don't want to spoil it, but you
can
what's
go ahead
his name?
Okay, so let's give a spoiler-free version of it, and then quickly go through the spoilers that you want to talk about.
Well, like when so what's his name and the lab, and that was so cool. That was one of the coolest things ever.
Yeah, I was just not expecting that at all.
Yeah,
like that's just not something that I expect to happen like that. Like, okay, so we're gonna go a little bit further into spoilers. So skip ahead, like 45 seconds if you're not caught up with Better Call Saul yet. So yes, this is your fair warning. I'm going to start spoiling things now. So when Gus kills Lalo in the basement,
no,
that's because that's the perfect way to do it, where Saul, not Jimmy, doesn't know that Lalo's not dead yet, without Lalo being in Breaking Bad still, if that makes sense. Because that's a hard line. That's something that's really hard writing to get that to work right. And then with Howard and Lalo both being buried underneath the basement of the lab is incredible. Like, that is amazing.
Yeah.
It makes you rethink a lot about Breaking Bad. Like, the whole fly scene where they're chasing around flies all happened just on top of Lalo and Howard's dead body.
Yeah, I know.
Like, I think that's amazing to me. Like, that's just amazing. Let's go specifically into the last episode and what that all was like.
That was one of the most depressing episodes of TV I've ever watched.
I feel the same way.
I felt like I was getting traumatized.
Yeah.
I know me and you talked about this after we watched it. It was insane how bad you felt for him afterwards. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And like after 6 seasons, you finally see Saul Goodman as Saul Goodman, and you don't want him to be Saul Goodman, which is just insane.
But
You know
it's
what I mean?
funny because, like, we all knew where the story is going. We all know that the last thing that happens to him is he ends up in the basement of the vacuum peoples with Walter at the end of Breaking Bad.
Mhm.
Like, we know that happens, and that makes it worse in a way. Like, we all like, hey, it's Funny Lawyer Man, but we want more of Funny Lawyer Man. But then it just makes it 10 times more depressing.
Sad.
It's really sad. It's really depressing. I don't know. And the way it ends, like the way it just cuts to Saul, like fully being Saul, is incredible. It hurts so bad.
It does hurt. It was painful, and like I remember I started tearing up at the scene where they kind of split off
Mm-hmm.
a little bit, and
It felt like an ending. Like I truly feel like that's the end of Better Call Saul being its standalone show. Like, I feel like that was the finale of that. And I mean, obviously, I don't know what happens in the next episode or the next few episodes, but I feel like there's no way that there's going to be much more, like, you know, Jimmy McGill running around being silly, goofy, funny. Do you know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
It's all going to be more like Saul Goodman being sad stuff, I think, and then Gene. But I don't know when that's going to happen. I don't know. But yes, I'm just excited for everything that's going to happen. And I think, okay, so let's get away from Better Call Saul. Just so we can kind of let's move to something more what 95% of our podcasts have been about so far. It's like, what, 75% of them? 80% at this point? Okay. So, Phase 4 Marvel stuff is basically over at this point. All we have left, confirmed, all that we have left for Phase 4 is, what is it? Crap. Let me see. Which one's next? It's, well, I know what's the last one is Wakanda Forever. But is there something between now and Wakanda Forever?
She-Hulk, I think, comes out.
She-Hulk, yes, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, She-Hulk is next, and then it's the next Black Panther movie, and then that's when it's over. And so here's what we have. So let's go through each episode, like each new announcement for Phase 5 specifically, and then kind of able to tell what we want, what we're thinking, how our hype levels are for each separate thing that's going on. I'm not going to talk about She-Hulk or Wakanda Forever because I want to specifically talk about Phase 5 stuff. Although I am excited for both of those things especially because now I didn't understand what She-Hulk was going to be. Like, Like, I don't know, how did you feel about She-Hulk, and what do you still feel about She-Hulk?
I think it's interesting. I feel like I didn't really care about the like I was one of the people that was crapping on the visual effects when it came out. So
Yeah.
I don't even know if I ever watched the trailer all the way through or not. But the fact that it's going to have Murdoch in it, it's going to be sick.
And that like makes sense too.
Yeah, it does. He's a lawyer. It does make sense.
It literally makes sense that they would meet each other. And then Wakanda Forever. I mean, I'm excited to see that movie, but I have a lot of mixed feelings about it. But we'll just see when we get there what it's like. Okay, so these are the films that are confirmed for Phase 5 specifically, and then we'll go on to the television, because there's a lot of television coming in Phase 5. So first film is Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania. Have you heard anything about Quantumania yet?
No,
like, do you know what it's what it's kind of about?
No.
Okay, so basically what it's about is kind of about it's kind of like where what is it? Scott Lang, that's his character's name, right? That's Paul Rudd. Scott Lang.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. And so after he helped save the world, he writes a book about what happened to him. And then he gets really famous because of it. And then he stops being friends with like his family. Like he starts like losing touch with his family, pretty much. And so then from there we don't really know exactly what happens. But what we do know is that he's going to spend more time in the quantum realm. This movie compared to Ant-Man and the Wasp. So we'll kind of be able to see what's going to happen there. So next is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, which is confirmed to be the last Guardians movie. How are you feeling about this movie?
Which movie?
Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
Oh, I'm very excited. Very excited.
So Gamora is dead, confirmed in this, at least the version of Gamora that is from this Earth. So basically they're actually defending the universe this time. They're defending the galaxy because they're the Guardians of the Galaxy. And that's something we don't really know much about yet, but we'll slowly and surely figure out more and more as time comes on, because these are both 2023 films, so those are all coming out next year, but we'll see what happens with that. The Marvels is coming out next year as well. That is the sequel to Captain Marvel, which I actually keep forgetting that. I see The Marvels and I'm like, okay, what is that?
Yeah, I didn't know that.
And then I remember, it's the sequel to the Marvel movie, or to Captain Marvel. It has it's Brie Larson's Captain Marvel, and then Miss Marvel from the series, the Disney Plus series. I honestly don't have any current feelings about this movie at all, really, because there's not a lot to like. There's not really any like plot that we know of about this movie yet, and I'm guessing that's because we don't know yet where this is going. Like, for example, this is another, because past Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, we don't really know what's happening. Like Blade, it's just next year. It films in October. Blade is also one that we don't know much about. It's just a movie coming next year sometime. I mean, obviously it's about Blade, But other than that, there's not any. It's a whole separate. Like, I think this Blade's gonna feel closer to how Multiverse of Madness was.
Mhm.
But we'll see how that all
I hope it's good. I hope they don't.
ends up. I hope they do too, but I'm worried about that.
It's Disney.
It's Disney, and it's very true.
They don't have the balls to like.
They're too scared to actually make something scary.
Exactly. It's ridiculous, in my opinion.
And if you're gonna do that, Blade should be the one to make it scary.
Yeah, it should be. Well, at least it should have some gore. You know what I mean? And
that might change though, because with something we'll come up to later, there are confirmed rated R television shows that they're making.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't really know.
They said that Kevin Feige himself said that Moon Knight was going to be the greatest thing they ever made, and it was like
it was a step up though.
It was
it was a step up. Like, it wasn't like, okay, like we're watching The Boys right now, and it's not like The Boys level where people's faces are getting ripped off, but it's in comparison to in comparison to a Captain America movie. It's like just a little bit above that.
True. Yeah.
At least the intensity levels of it. Like, there wasn't any gore really, but like in terms of like the intensity of them being beaten up, that was different this time.
If Sam Raimi had the opportunity to kind of get a little scarier with Multiverse of Madness, it could have been so much better.
I agree. And from what I understand, there is a version of that movie that is scarier. They just had to cut out a lot, because I think the original was like 3 hours and something.
Jeez, really?
And so they had to cut down a lot of they removed a lot of the scary stuff for more of the story stuff. And then that leaves you with a overall less scary movie.
Yeah.
So next on our list is Captain America, New World Order. Produced by Kevin Feige, starring Steve Urkel as the main villain.
Steve Urkel.
Steve Urkel.
What's his name? Good Burger.
Ed.
Ed, yeah.
It's Ed. Ed's gonna come and kill somebody. No, he's gonna be the main villain. He's gonna throw hamburgers at people. But again, this is another one of those things. All we know for sure is that Anthony Mackie is Captain America. Well, Sam Wilson, but actor's name is confirmed to be Captain America.
He is Captain America.
He is like officially Captain America now, and you can.
None of your crying can make it not.
It's not gonna happen. I hate.
We're not talking about that.
I'm not gonna talk about that.
But he is Captain America.
He's Captain America. Just deal with it, Jesus, people. Yeah, but let's not get into that. Thunderbolts. So Captain America is a 2024 movie. Thunderbolts, as well as 2024. That's another one.
I don't even know what that is. I gotta look up.
We don't really know much about what, like. There's nothing
I don't
really
even know what the
confirmed to
comic
be.
is.
Oh,
they're an anti-hero team.
I think it's kind of like let me make sure that I'm getting this right. So who is Thunderbolts? Of course.
It's a team, it looks like.
Okay. So other members of the Thunderbolts include Valentina, which is, you can see her in WandaVision and Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was just Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and then Black Widow's sister.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know how to pronounce that name. Ghost. I don't know who Ghost is. Abomination, John Walker, and Taskmaster.
Radioactive Man. That's
Radioactive Man.
Marvel character.
I'm positive it is.
Hawkeye's a
Hawkeye
Thunderbolt.
at one point was a Thunderbolt, and Bucky Barnes was at one part a Thunderbolt.
Green Goblin.
Green Goblin. So yeah, that's Thunderbolts. Who really knows what that's going to be at this point? It could be anything and everything. But eventually we'll know a little bit more about what happens with that as time comes on. Because remember, this is 2 years away. This is a movie we're talking about. It's 2 years away. So next up, we're moving into television. Secret Invasion is Phase 5's first movie, or show, which is 2023. It's pretty much going to be really interesting. Nick Fury is apparently a whole different person in this movie compared to how we used to know him. It's kind of about Skrulls, kind of. Think about it like Invasion of the Body Snatchers kind of feeling, where you don't really know who's a Skrull and who's not, just throughout the whole thing. That's kind of what you can expect from this. There's not a lot story-wise we understand other than that it's just a Skrull. But eventually we'll know more about that again as time comes on. Echo, if you have not seen, Echo is pretty much... Echo, am I thinking about this right? Echo is from, Kingpin's, niece, right?
I don't remember.
In Hawkeye.
His adoptive daughter.
Adopted daughter, okay. Yeah, so that's what that is, because she is deaf, correct?
Yeah, I guess so.
I believe that's what it was.
Yeah, she was deaf in Hawkeye.
Deaf. Okay. Yeah. So I really don't know. Again, this might be one of those ones where I'm not sure if I'm super duper interested, but it may be one we'll just see what happens.
They I don't know. They try a lot, and I mean, you never know. They're just kind of pulling characters out of nowhere.
Yeah,
and you never know. Some of them hit. Like Moon Knight, I thought was pretty cool.
Moon Knight hit, and that's the thing. Is I look at the names and I'm like, I just don't know if I'll like that or not.
Yeah,
and then like Loki, for example, which is now the next one. That's the first season of Loki's really good.
Yeah.
And I personally I was excited for it, but I didn't know that I would love it as much as I did. And since he was the one who screwed it up for everybody else, when now he's the reason why Kang is something.
Yeah.
It's a lot to just kind of figure out. So with when you first heard about Loki, what did you like? What did you think?
What do you mean?
Were you excited for it? Were you
I was excited for Loki. He is one of my favorite characters. I love him. Just because he had his redemption arc felt genuine. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was excited to see what they would do when they compared it to the ending of what happened to him in Endgame. What I don't love necessarily is they killed him off in Infinity War, and that version of him is dead. But it feels like a cop-out in a way. And that's just the issue with going through the multiverse the way this is. I understand that the Loki that we saw is dead, but it also feels like a way to change. They went so far down Loki's path, and then they weren't able to turn him back to what they needed for the story, and so they did it with what they did in Endgame, where they changed his they went back and stole a younger version of him. Mm-hmm. That makes sense. Oh. So let's move to the next one. Ironheart, which that seems interesting.
That's what's her name, right?
That's Ironheart is Dominique Thorne is the name of the character. Yeah, it's she creates a more advanced version of the Iron Man suit.
Okay, yeah.
Kind of like that's how you can compare it, kind of. So now we go on to some that the next one I'm not sure I'm super duper excited for because I don't really know what it'll do. Agatha's Coven of Chaos. I think this is one that we don't really like. I don't think we know much about this one other than like where it comes from in terms of just in terms of like story. Like I know we know it comes from WandaVision, but other than that there's not a lot that's like known or understood about what this show I guess will have.
Yeah.
And now we go on to the one that I'm sure people have been waiting for, and then this is the ending of Phase 5 television shows. Daredevil, Born Again. You can take the floor on that one.
I'm so excited. You don't even understand. Like Jared, for people listening, Jared's never watched it, or maybe he's watched a few episodes.
I've seen the first season at this point.
But you watched the first season?
Yes, the full first
Okay.
season.
So I watched it right after, like, I watched the first season and then the second season dropped and I watched it. I'm so excited. Daredevil is one of Netflix's best shows, in my opinion. I think it's better than Stranger Things. I don't know. It's just exciting. And then 18 episodes.
Yeah. And
That's
I saw
crazy.
some people complain about that.
How? Why?
And I was like, because those are the same people who have been complaining about 6 episodes not being enough to tell a story. They just like them to complain about stuff because it's cool.
Exactly. Is it 18 in one season?
It's an 18 episode season. Yeah. And beyond that, I don't know if it'll be, if there will be a second season. I don't know. Probably.
Yeah, I hope so.
It will probably be another season, but we'll figure
He's
that
in
out.
a lot of the shows that are coming.
Yeah.
Like he makes cameos in a lot of them.
Yeah. Okay, so that's the ending of Phase 5. Let's move on to something very, very interesting. It makes me very excited because, well, it is honestly something that I was not expecting to, I was not expecting to figure out much about these 2 specific movies that I'm going to be mentioning here in a second once I find the correct names. There we go. So there are 3 current things, are like confirmed to be in Phase 6. Okay, so first is the Fantastic Four. That is 2024. That is the beginning of Phase 6. I'm excited for the Fantastic Four. Honestly, that's one of the things I'm most excited for. If they do it right, hopefully, which I hope they will. First off, it's just cool that they get to make a Fantastic Four movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, that's just cool. Like, they finally will all be together.
Who do you think they're going to get to play him?
To play
Reed
Wolverine?
Richards.
Reed Richards. Let's get Jack Quaid.
He would be good.
God, let's do it.
I do want to see him.
Let's go full circle and get Jack Quaid in here somewhere. And then we can get the dude who played Homelander to be the Thing.
Okay.
No, Butcher gets to be the Thing. And Homelander can be Wolverine. There we go. That's the one that I don't know what they'll do. Is with Wolverine.
Yeah. I hope they don't bring him back. I mean,
They have to, though. Like, you need who is it in, it's Storm, it's, what's the person that can control the weather? Storm. Is it just Storm?
yeah, Storm.
So you need Storm, the Thing, and then, Reed Richards.
Over. Sorry.
So real quickly here, we'll move on. So after everything that's happened, storylines, this is straight from the Wikipedia, a continuation of storylines set up in Loki and Ant-Man and the Wasp. So that's what we know. The name of the movie is Avengers: The Kang Dynasty. And this comes out, I think that was in June of 2025. That's really exciting. And something else that I'm very, very excited for, it's a direct sequel to the Kang Dynasty, Avengers: Secret Wars 2025. Wow.
That's crazy. I can't believe they confirmed it.
I can't believe they confirmed Secret Wars. And I can't believe they confirmed both movies back to back like that. Because that means that they've set up, they know the full multiverse saga at this point. So like they know their next Thanos character at this point. And it's really interesting to see. So something that I'm really confused about is, so 3 phases in the original 3 phases were 10 years, and they're getting it in 3 years. It's just crazy. I don't know. That's my opinions, but and I'm sure there's a reason beyond that. But so let's just call it quits here for now for this episode of this MediaByte podcast. So yeah, we've had fun. We'll try to record these more often for you guys. It's been busy the last few weeks, but as soon as we get better timing of everything, you'll have a lot more. And especially because we'll get some bonus episodes out for the Patreon people soon at some point. So, well, thank you all for listening.
Yes, thank you.
Watched us all listen to us nerd out again about Marvel stuff for too long. So yes, if you want to follow me, you can do that at Jared Pointer. My account is privated, but if you request, I'll know probably. Or at JarJarYT, that's the one that you can just follow, and I'll probably follow you back. It's cool with me. I don't really care. And well, yeah, follow us all at MediaByte Company. Or no, it's at MediaByte Co. on Twitter. Instagram is at MediaByte Company with 2 Y's. And yeah, I'm not gonna. So if you don't know, I wrote a book.
You wrote a book.
I wrote a book. It's not out yet, but I'm looking at a pre-copy of it as we speak. I'll promote that once you can grab a copy for yourself. But yeah, it's your turn to drop projects, Instagrams, Twitters, whatever you want.
My name is Evan, and I'm here to say...
And it's bring another $1.
I don't know what I'm saying. My name is Evan. You can follow me on FW321.
I don't mean to interrupt. I thought you were going to go into the Dean rap from Community, but go ahead.
FW321 on Twitter. You can follow me there, and you can follow my Twitch if you'd like as well. Thank you. What do we always say, Jared? What do we always say after every podcast?
Why do we always say this? What are we saying? What are we saying, gamers?
Eat a cookie.
Eat that cookie.
Eat the
I
cookie.
hate that is now our thing. Like, it's far too late to change eat the cookie, but I want to change eat the cookie.
No, it is gonna stay forever. Goodbye, guys.
All
Remember,
right.
eat the cookie.
Eat the cookie, guys. All right. Bye.
Bye. I hungry.
You're hungry. For cookies, I guess.
I'm hungry for Cocoa Puffs.
For more podcasts like this, please make sure to listen to all the podcasts on the MediaByte Podcast Network.